Relax. No, people will die.
No, look, I can tell you, President Biden takes border security very seriously, and he understands the importance of proper immigration policies and procedures in place.
Essentially start to edit Twitter the same sort of way that Wikipedia is, so they can add context to certain tweets.
Lefty rages on. Joe Biden's disinformation person said some more crazy things. Did they do no homework on her? The Twitter deal is on hold. All that and more coming up on this episode of Daily Caller Live. Daily Caller Live, start right now.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
That might be the only brown guy on earth named Jobob.
That is actually her name, Jobob.
From the dingy bunker, completely cut off from the outside world, except for you fine folks. My name is Jobob. Thanks so much for tuning in to Daily Caller Live. On today, it is Friday the 13th. Woo! May 13th, year of our Lord 2022. We have a lot of Biden, but not Biden today. Joe Biden has had some terrible problems over the last couple days that is entirely in the news. But it's not the usual him saying ridiculous things on the world stage. Instead, it's things that he's put in place that are so overtly bad that it's a problem without him being the problem, which is, again, new for a lot of us. Joe Biden's Homeland Security Department has had some issues, to say the least. The border, obviously being one, and then two, we've all heard about the quote-unquote disinformation board, which is very Stalin-esque or Hitler-esque or Joseph Goebbels. It's not good that Joe Biden is trying to establish a quote-unquote truth ministry in lockstep with dictators throughout the history of time. But apparently, so that is housed under Homeland Security also. But apparently, literally nobody did any research on who this lady was that is heading up this board. And more stuff keeps coming out of things that she has said that is just, look, who a crazy person would say this sort of stuff. They had a hearing with Alejandro Mayorkas, who's the Secretary of Homeland Security in the Senate. I think it was John Kennedy, Senator of Louisiana, said, did anybody do any research on her whatsoever? Were you aware of her TikTok? Were you aware of the things that she said previous to being hired as the disinformation board czar? And Alejandro Mayorkas said, no, we didn't know about those specific things. Again, nobody did any research whatsoever. Watch this clip that is now resurfaced. There's a lot of things going on in this video. She's in the little hold on. Let me take down this brand thing because I feel like you need to be able to see her, which you won't be able to. She's in this upper little corner right here. And listen to what she says about Twitter. Again, apparently nobody freaking did any homework whatsoever. Also, I see there's a couple thousand more of you watching than have clicked the little like button. If you wouldn't mind, just click the little like button thing right here and the little share button thing if you're cool with that. Because one, people need to see this because holy cow, she's a crazy person. And two, that helps us out, stay on the air doing what we're doing. So really, really appreciate you doing that. Without further ado, watch the disinformation person talk about editing information. I'm serious. Watch this.
And I am eligible for it because I'm verified. But there are a lot of people who shouldn't be verified who aren't, legit, in my opinion. I mean, they are real people, but they're not trustworthy. Anyway, so verified people can essentially start to edit Twitter the same sort of way that Wikipedia is, so they can add context to certain tweets. So just as a easy example, not from any political standpoint, if President Trump were still on Twitter and tweeted a claim about voter fraud, someone could add context from one of the 60 lawsuits that went through the court, or something that an election official in one of the states said, perhaps your own Secretary of State and his news conferences, something like that. Adding context so that people have a fuller picture rather than just an individual claim on a tweet.
The disinformation czar, or the head of the board of disinformation is saying that, first of all, she talks about being verified on Twitter. Well, I'm verified on Twitter, but other people should not be verified on Twitter. Right? They're not trustworthy people. They should not be verified. They're real people, but they're not trustworthy people. But me, because I'm a trustworthy person, I should be able to edit other people's tweets to put context in it. If you're verified, you should be able to, according to her, edit the tweets of the President of the United States if you think he's wrong about something. Okay, well, two can play at that game. Maybe we'll edit all of the tweets from Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, all of your Senate Democrats that voted for the Roe versus Wade codification, and add some context saying that, well, that's not exactly at all what happened by a lot. It was not a codification of Roe versus Wade. It was actually an expansion of abortion laws that would wipe out 500 different state laws. Maybe we should add that sort of context. Oh, well, but first, may I be verified, Miss Disinformation Police Minister? Is that okay for me to be verified? I'm not entirely sure. But I want to go back and also check this photo out. I'll make it bigger for those of you on the screen. So there's her in the upper, what is that, right-hand corner of the screen talking. But notice in the bottom corner, there's a lady wearing a mask on a Zoom call. So these are the types of, and actually, hold on, there was another person. The lady in the center is also wearing a mask. She removed her mask briefly so that she could take a drink of her big gulp or whatever it was. And the lady under that has a mask on her chin. These people are sitting at home in front of their computers and still wearing masks. So this is the type of person, this is the type of people that the disinformation lady, who is now the quote-unquote head of the disinformation board, the truth ministry, the Stalin-esque, Hitler-esque truth ministry that Joe Biden thought was a good idea, is in charge of. People who wear masks and ignore entirely all of the actual information out there. These are the people that are going to be policing the airwaves. If you're verified on Twitter, you have you're totally legit and you're trustworthy, and therefore can edit the tweets from the president. Again, the whole thing, circling back, if I can, in honor of Jen Psaki's last week of being the White House press secretary, circling back, did nobody do any homework in researching this lady? Literally nobody. But the problem with the Homeland Security of the Biden administration doesn't stop there. Yesterday, John Kirby was on, was it yesterday? It might have been the day before. John Kirby was on, I believe it was with Martha McCallum on Fox, and she asked about the border. And she said, hey, what's going on with, well, let me just play the clip and you can hear from the Pentagon spokeshole, John Kirby. Watch this.
Now, there's some people who look at what's going on in Ukraine and the amount of resources that are going there. Yeah. And they say, so how is it that we're so concerned about their border and not our southern border when we have all of this loss of life?
No, look, I can tell you President Biden takes border security very seriously, and he understands the importance of proper immigration policies and procedures in place to make the border work the way it's supposed to work in terms of our own national security. And we have about 2,500 troops, mostly National Guardsmen, are down there right now to help take the burden off the Border Patrol individuals so that they can do the kinds of actual work to monitor the migrant activity as best they can. So we're helping them with transportation, with communications, logistical support. And that's a mission that we continue to have a discussion with the Department of Homeland Security about. We continue to believe right now it's a valid mission, and so we'll continue to help.
So to continue to trot people from the administration out, John Kirby being the press secretary for the Pentagon, to continue to trot these people out on all the talk shows and say, no, Joe Biden cares about the border, is problematic to their own argument, because people like us who are understanding what's going on the border get to play those clips and go, what in the freaking world are you talking about, dude? Joe Biden cares about the border. Because, again, it would make sense for them from a press side, and I'm not advocating for this, I'm just saying, if I were them, I would stop sending administration officials to the talk shows to say that you're doing a good job. Mayorkas was on a couple weeks ago on, was it Brett Baer's show, saying, oh, no, we're doing a great job. That doesn't help your cause. It only sheds more light on the fact that, one, it's not going well, and two, you're lying about it. So there's that. The Homeland Security Department of the Biden administration is having some major issues. And like I said at the beginning of the show, this is a show about how bad Joe Biden is screwing up, but not Joe Biden specifically. The hirees, the people in his administration, just being completely incompetent. And we're not even playing any clips of Joe Biden saying Jobob. He isn't even in here. To continue on with the things that Joe Biden is doing. Yesterday, wow, there's another one of these. I guess I thought there was another. There's another story here that I'm not even sure that I was able to bring up on here, but Joe Biden also canceled yesterday the drilling in a lot of. I'm sorry. I'm animated and I screwed up the Chiron. And, it's a live show. This is what happens. But the Biden administration canceled oil and gas drilling leases in the Gulf of Mexico and the Alaska coast. The Interior Department told the Washington Post Thursday that the Cook Inlet lease sales would not move forward because of a lack of industry interest in the leasing areas. So get this. Because gas prices are super, super low and pretty much everything now is run on clean energy and everything is run effectively, the Biden administration has canceled oil drilling leases for private companies on federal land. Oh, wait, that's not happening at all. What's actually happening is the fact that gas prices are insanely high. Everybody kind of stopped talking about this, but a couple weeks ago, obviously, gas prices shot up. They've been continuing to shoot up during Joe Biden's entire presidency, but they went down like a little bit. There was a little bit of a lull, and people kind of stopped talking about it. They went up drastically 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I think we had the highest gas prices the nation has ever seen. We are setting records left and right on gas prices, but for some reason, people are talking about it a little bit less because of that like little dip. But with gas prices being as high as they are, and with, as Biden himself says, well, Putin is not supplying the world with energy anymore. That's actually causing it, the gas prices to go up. With all of that, those things being said, Joe Biden is now canceling lease agreements in Alaska and the Gulf of Mexico. Now, their department, the administration is saying, well, there's a lack of industry interest. But here's the problem. Like we just saw in the Homeland Security issue segment, nobody believes anything they say. As of Thursday morning, the national gas price average stood at $4.41.8, so $4.41. Which is the highest on record and $1.40 higher than last year at this time, which was also crazy high. Biden imposed a moratorium on the sale of new leases 1 week after his inauguration. So when the day that Biden got into office, he said no more new land leases. Now, a federal judge shot that down pretty immediately, saying you're going to cause irreparable damage to the entire country if you do that. And the economy, the gas prices, everything is going to go haywire if you do that. So a federal judge said, also, you just can't do that. What did he say? It would suffer irreparable injury. 13 different states would suffer irreparable injury. But last month, the Interior Department announced it was restarting the sale of gas leases on federal land, but reduced the amount of land by 80%. So with gas prices as high as they are, to bottom line this, with gas prices as high as they are, with Russia not producing any energy and therefore more oil from around the world being sent to Europe, who is stupidly dependent on Russian oil, and us buying or being in talks with Venezuela to buy oil from them, with all of those things going on, what Joe Biden decides is an important thing that we need to have done in the United States is to cancel some of the leases for drilling on our own homeland. Great move, dude. In some way, shape, or form, it almost seems like they are trying to lose in November. I know that's not the case, but in a lot of ways, it almost seems like that. But even then, the mainstream media, your alphabet networks, your ABC, your NBC, your CBS, your big three networks are now even talking about inflation and being critical about this. This is from the Today Show, I believe. yesterday, talking about inflation. Again, they are very, very soft on the president a lot of the times, but even them are like, these numbers are getting worse. Watch this clip from, again, I think it's ABC. Again, if you haven't already, I would really, really appreciate it if you click the little like button, click the little share button. Really, really does help us out quite a bit. And also, I feel like we're bringing stuff on that I feel like people should be talking about. Dang it, there was a comment that I wanted to get to too. But the time has passed. Let's watch this clip. Check this out.
This report really underscores just how entrenched inflation has become in our lives. We see it at the gas station, the grocery store, buying airline tickets, but core inflation, which excludes food and energy, is still accelerating. That's putting new pressure on the Biden administration and the Federal Reserve to get inflation under control without pushing the economy into recession.
For millions of Americans struggling with the high cost of living, there is still no relief in sight. According to the April Consumer Price Index, the inflation rate rose 8.3% compared to a year ago. While that is an improvement slightly compared to March, inflation is still running at 40-year highs. It means families are spending $450 more per month than a year ago, posing a serious political threat to President Biden and the Democrats in the midterm election.
So, again, all that is to show that, hey, everybody's now paying attention to this. There's now also a baby formula food shortage. Is anybody experiencing that? Let me know in the comments section, because I'm actually very curious to see this, stuff being said. If it's going on, I'm trying to read comments and talk at the same time. It's difficult. Is anybody experiencing baby formula at the shortage in their grocery store? Again, would love to hear from you. I want to get to this. This is important too, and kind of an interesting story. This is not Joe Biden related, but Elon Musk his purchase of Twitter is still on hold. Is now been put on hold. Obviously, we've all heard about Elon Musk buying Twitter for, $44 billion. But he has temporarily put that purchase on hold. The reason why, if you're familiar at all with the internet, a lot of platforms have bot problems. Not real people, and they are not existent and don't engage and all that sort of stuff. Twitter has been touting to their shareholders and to the world that only about 5% or fewer are actual bots. Actually, let me read it. Let me just read this. Twitter estimated in a filing on Monday that false or spam accounts represent fewer than 5% of its monetized daily active users during the first quarter. So, essentially what it is the monetized accounts, the accounts that are making money or making the company money by being shown to advertisers, they need to prove that less than 5% of those users are bots or fake. So a couple things are happening. If they can't prove that, if they can prove that, I think the sale will go forward with Elon Musk. That's good for the rest of the world. If they can't prove that, it's possible that Elon Musk would renegotiate down because the stock or the valuation of the company would tank, and they'd probably face some legal issues about lying to their shareholders about how many accounts were fake. Twitter estimates spam/fake accounts comprise less than 5% of user filings. So we will see, users, so says the filing. We'll see if that's actually true. But either way, I think it's probably a good thing to shed light on regardless, because if it's true, then the sale will continue to go forward and Elon Musk will probably take over and Twitter will be a freer and more open platform. If it isn't true, the woke Twitter board and CEO and employees have some serious SEC explaining to do. I want to get to this to close off the week. The lefty rage rages on via Roe v. Wade. I want to read some of the. Here's the problem. I would like to read comments on these things, but a lot of you guys use so many bad words. There was a hilarious comment at the beginning that I was going to bring on, and then I forgot about it and I missed it. When we were talking about Mayorkas and his disinformation board chairperson, somebody made the joke, not taking this seriously, just to provide context to whoever will take this out of context. Somebody made the joke, yeah, she's Mayorkas' side chick. That's why she got the job, which I thought was very, very funny and not serious at all. CNN or whoever's going to take this out of context. So yeah, there's that. But hey, if you want your comment brought up on the screen, which I would love to bring more comments up on the screen, don't use bad words and say something interesting. Okay, so I want to get to this. How many people have seen these types of videos continue to make their way around the internet in viral sensations? You have to see this very, very enraged person get very, very upset at a simple comment issued by, we'll call him a heckler. I happen to agree on his belief about this particular issue, but he also is just heckling these people, and it's kind of funny. And some lady or some young college woman can't hold her own here. If you haven't already, click the little like button, click the little share button thing, because this is funny. This is just funny, and your friends are going to want to see this. Here we go. The Lefty rage rages on. Watch this clip.
Supports some type of abortion ban, some type of abortion restriction, with some supporting a total abortion ban with...
Abortion is murder! Relax.
No, people will die if abortion is banned, you piece of shit.
Abortion is killing babies, though.
It's not. Banning abortion will not stop people from getting abortions. It means that women will die.
Relax.
No. Can someone about people dying during the mass?
You're entitled to your opinion. Please walk away.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Okay.
So the guy he just again trolling, real life trolling, not just internet Twitter trollery. And he goes, abortion is murder, and then panic ensues. What? But okay, so also, from a physical assaultive standpoint, that I don't know, young woman kicked him. Like that can't be okay when you're talking about civil political discourse, especially on college campuses. Yeah, Daniel, wow, what a psychopath. There we go. We brought a comment on today. Appreciate it. But yeah, that's exactly, yeah, I don't know. We've got crazy people being crazy. Yeah, it is what it is. And that's where we'll end the week, on that cheery / more fun note. If you missed any segment of the show, go back and watch it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We stream it all over the place. If you haven't already followed the YouTube page, yeah, would appreciate you doing so. Also, give me a follow on any of your social media platforms. Instagram, I am hilarious. I've said that many times before, and I'm mostly kidding about it. I'm not that pompous of an egomaniac, but also there's like a small percent of me that does think I'm hilarious. So shoot me a follow on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Anywhere where you have social media, you can find me. Just type in JOBOB. We can chat there. I get back to a lot of different things in terms of responding to people sending me stories. But at the same time, don't abuse the DMs. I appreciate people sending me stuff, but I'm not looking to host debate night in the DM section. So that's going to do it for us today. Appreciate you tuning in for the entire week. We'll be back next week, Monday. Maybe we'll do something over the weekend. I've said that so many times. Maybe we'll come back on the weekend if something happens. We'll head on over to the studio and hop on for a segment. But I don't think it's ever happened yet. So I'll keep promising that it might happen. But until then, we'll see you Monday. God bless America.